Hey guys, been a long time since I gave you guys an update on the car. This is mostly going to be about the trans build parts that we're putting into the trans, but we're going to also do like a general recap of where I'm at with the car because it's been almost a month since the last video. So guys, like I said, it's been almost a month since the last update. I have been working on the car a lot, as much as I can. There's been a few hiccups in like family life and stuff, but it's no big deal. Everything's okay there. Just spending every bit of money I have towards the car. As you can tell, everybody's probably still slow from the whole virus situation. We're not working overtime, so there's not as much extra money as I'd hoped for, but keep plugging away at it and hopefully we get there. Did get a fair bit of good news the other day. YouTube finally got back a hold of me and said that I'm approved for monetization, so I can do that. And honestly, I kind of forgot about posting YouTubes. I've been doing other things and just I've been sidetracked, I guess. So I figured I'd put a video out there for you guys showing you where I'm at. We're going to probably go over a lot of the trans build parts over here, but firstly I'm going to show you guys the engine that's built now and kind of talk to you guys about it just so you know. I did actually do a build up video on this, but the audio was trash, so I just didn't really I didn't bother with editing it because you couldn't barely hear me and there was a lot of other stuff. But basically this is a LC9, so it's an '09 block if I remember correctly. It's been converted to a 3-bolt cam, and obviously we still retain the front pickup because it's a 58X engine. So use 3-bolt cam. The lift and duration on this is 603, 605, 229, 231. If I remember correctly, it's a JFR cam. And then that's 113 plus 4 LSA. Just stock block, stock bottom end. BTR 660s. These are just 862 heads, so this engine should be, with 10,000 deck, it should be about, I don't know, 10.4, 10.5 to 1. BTR 660 springs. And I think that is a Smith Brothers trunnion, brass trunnion. I did clean these. They kind of got, some of them were a little rusty. I'm a little bit picky on my rockers for having wear in this pocket here. So I rated the old engine over there for rockers. I had a pile of them over there in that pail, and I was missing like 6. So I rated my dad's engine for him, and I'll have to go to the junkyard and just start piling up some more rockers because I tried to buy them from some kid and he wanted like $40 for a set, and I'm not paying that. So I almost forgot. This is a 1/2-inch head stud motor, so this is drilled with that TIC performance plate. They all torque down beautifully. I was surprised. For anybody who hasn't ever done an LS, I think stock is like 80 foot-pounds. These are 120. I only did 115 just because I was scared of it. I just don't really like the thought of aluminum blocking that much torque, but it torqued fine. Honestly, I was waiting for a snap or a strip or something, and it didn't. So hopefully we can hold the head down. The opposite side of that is we'll probably torch the block if it does pop up a bit. And because I had these heads and block decked with the 1/2-inch head studs, I had to run a 7375 push rod, which is one shorter from stock. Stock I think is like 7.38. So we went down 50 thousandths, I would guess, in push rod. Same thing over here. We're running a Summit 7-quart pan with a spin-on filter. I didn't want to bother with the running oil lines, so I have to figure out what filter that takes and put a filter on it. That should be no big deal. I've got this cover for the DOD delete. The DOD stuff is also deleted with plugs. So it is plugged and it is capped with this. Those channels are all cleaned out. I made this on an older video. If you guys want to see this plate being made, maybe I'll tag it up here. And then I did a kind of halfway job on welding this bung on here for the turbo drain in the same spot as my setup from last year. So that pretty much concludes the engine. Now we'll talk about the chassis. Converting this to be able to use rear sump has been the bane of my existence for like the last week. So I had this wild idea that I was going to get a Mustang, a Fox body rack shoved in this car because I had a Fox body rack, a manual rack. And as you can see, it finally fits. But man, was it a pain. So where this wants to come up is directly through the motor mount for the slant 6K member. And sorry, I can't really fit the rest of the camera down here, but basically made a mount there that bolts on and removes. Then I'm going to put tabs on the back of these big bolt holes here and weld them directly, so that way I can pinch it together and it's not going anywhere on both sides. And then if I do need to remove it, I'll pull these 3 bolts, and then there's 2 in the back that come up from the bottom, drop it out of the way. Hopefully I'll never have to pull it out of there, because I've pulled this out like 30 times now. Aside from that, I need to brace these here and here. I haven't really figured that out yet, but that's something I'm going to do next after I figure out this abomination. Now we'll kind of go to the trans stuff. I think I did show you guys what I had bought for this transmission a while ago, but I don't think I went into detail on it. So firstly, I want to say a big thank you to Hughes. I stickered my car. I guess we'll kind of get sidetracked here and come back here, but stickered the car with it. They actually featured the car on their Facebook page probably 2 or 3 months ago, just because it was weird and people don't see it. I talked to Pete Nichols for a while about it, and he's kind of a cool guy from what I talked to him. He's got a lot of oddball engine swaps and stuff like I like to do, so that's kind of my niche, is doing odd things. So we have some other stuff coming up on that, but I won't spoil that. If you guys are on the Facebook and the Instagram and TikTok, you guys will already know what's going on, but I'm not going to announce that on YouTube yet. So going with the Glide this year, we got a bunch of stuff. A lot of it's from Hughes, a couple things I've collected used, and then I'm buying a couple things from a friend. So this is a BT 180 straight cut gear set that has like 200 miles on it and like 3 passes. The guy wasn't happy with it, went to a 169 gear set because he kept wheeling. So hardened band adjuster, a Hughes band. This is their proprietary compound stuff. So happy to try that. I know the stock band, the asbestos band, is probably the best you can get, but I didn't know the condition of it in my core trans, so I just went ahead and bought one. This little piece here is a Sonex Smart Tech servo. So honestly, I'm not going to BS you guys and tell you that I know everything about glides because I'm obviously a noob. And this basically fixes pin bias in the glide, which from what I've been watching, if you have pin bias issues, the band, because the fluid pressure is the same on either side of this piston, the band will hang and it'll drag and then it'll burn your clutch up. Or not your clutch, it'll burn your band on your drum. So I've got new pump gears here. I've got a 10-disc Sonics drum pack. Everything's in there. This is a 1500 horse NASA shaft. It is a Cohen Racing setup. I can't even remember this. I think tool steel and it's heat treated or cryoed or whatever. They rated it at 1500. So it should be way more than enough for what I need. Honestly, I probably should be in an aftermarket case, but there's like this whole dilemma where aftermarket cases are unattainable right now. Plus I'm broke, so if I can make a couple hits on this and then wait over the winter to get an aftermarket case. I already have a bell housing up there for an ATI, so I'll probably get an ATI unless somebody wants to sell me a used one or something for dirt cheap, then I'll go ahead and throw all these parts in an ATI. But biggest part that I'm like most excited about, only did a few racing videos last year, but you guys remember that I had horrible issues with 60-foot being super lazy. A lot of it was my fault as far as tuning. I want to kind of reiterate that because I may have sounded frustrated and said that the converter's too tight and blamed the converter company, which isn't true. I am very mechanically, how do I say this? I have a lot of mechanical empathy, I guess is what I would say. So I'm not one to go throw the moon tune at it and just floor it and beat the trash out of it. So I took what was a conservative tune and pulled like 3 or 4 degrees out of it everywhere. So it was lazy because of my own doing, but it was something while I was learning, it made me feel more comfortable that I wasn't going to hurt it due to my ignorance. So even though we never really got to press the car that well, like actually do things with the car and race with it, I just want to step up and have another tool in my capabilities of, I don't really want to try to explain all of what it will do. It's better just go to Hughes. Partly why I said thank you to them is that I'm an absolute noob on buying this stuff. I'm building this stuff, and I called up, talked to a couple different guys when I was ordering parts, and I'm like, hey, I'm an idiot when it comes to building stuff like this. Can you help me? What do I need? And they didn't try to oversell me anything. It was like when I was talking about, well, I want to try a servo. Sonics makes a lesser one than this, or they make 2 lesser ones than this. They make one that's just a guided, and they make one that's a pin bias, and this does both. So this changes servo size. The other one is guided pin. This one is a guided pin and the servo change. So I said, just get me the best one you have. Same thing with like, I told them my problems with spooling on the line, and I probably wasn't very honest on what the issue was. Obviously I didn't have timing in it, but this, from what I'm seeing, is a good thing to have. And I think that's about it. I am waiting on a 6 clutch pack for the reverse. Obviously I need that for the trans brake. And I've got a couple other little things, just like gaskets and seals and stuff for that. I've got a friend that's selling me a Pro Tree brake. Don't know who it's from, but it's supposed to work. Hopefully it does. If not, then I guess I'll be rebuilding it or something, or sending it back out. But yeah, so that's about it. I've been working on this. I got the floor all welded in, got the cage all pretty much done aside for the door bars. Got the steering column mounted. I need to do some brackets on there. Got the steering column done that I was just complaining about. So I need to solid mount that. I need to solid mount the top, and then make sure everything's solid there. And then I need to shove this engine in once I get the glide built. Throw it in there, measure for a drive shaft, get that ordered. And then start building hot and cold piping and yada, yada, yada. Hopefully it'll start going back together. I'm really hoping to shoot for late September to have the car out. You know, I am with deadlines, not good at it. Things are just so unpredictable, and with the world how it is, it's hard to guarantee things done on time, especially when it's a side project. But I hope this update made you guys happy. I've been kind of missing out on doing YouTube, but I've just been trying to put my head down and work rather than film. So I hope you guys all understand, and I will see you on the next one, hopefully sooner than a month this time.